So the right job has 5 vital components. The first is role, second being industry, third is the employer, fourth is the city, and fifth is the level. We've already covered why you should start with the right role and why you should start with the right industry to grow in your career. Now let's talk about why should you start with the right job and the right employer. TMD, would you like to answer that?
Yeah, thank you. See, I think I'm going to talk to you about the right employer. See, you must understand I'm also an employer. We employ 3,500 people across multiple roles. So I've been an employer for 30 years now. On top of it, we also work with more than 400 employers. We interact with them. We do a lot of hiring in the front end. So the right employer is not a theoretical expression. It is something you see from practice. You learn from talking to young people when they go into their job, what kind of problems they face. For example, when we went to our first job several years ago, the employers were very different. Today, employers are very different. So when we talk about the right employer, it is in the context of now, 2022. And it is in the context of the competition, the challenges faced by industry. So I want to emphasize this, whatever I'm going to tell you is not a theoretical exercise, it's a practical on the ground what's happening, and therefore whatever descriptions I'm giving about the right employer, this will be very useful to you for you to decide who you want to work with. So first we'll start with understanding why the first job and therefore the first employer is important. First we must understand the first job is the foundation of your career, right? So we already talked about it once, but what you get in the campus, you are at the most getting knowledge, right? And the knowledge system is designed for you to write exams. So you get knowledge and the knowledge is tested by exams, and therefore you're geared to use your knowledge to pass the exam. This is what we do in the campus. You might even acquire some basic skills like communication skill, presentation skills. But what you learn in the campus is very, very, very different, divorced from the reality on the ground when you take the first job. So we did a study, TMI did a study for the Week magazine a few years ago, and we asked the top 25 MBA schools. We talked to people who have completed 10 years. So these are 10-year experienced top 25 MBA school alumni. And we asked them a simple question: what percentage of what you learn in the campus is useful on the job? You'll be surprised to know less than 10%. Now, this is the problem. That means what you learn in the campus, only 10% is useful. That also if you're exactly matching with what you study. So, we have to start with the understanding that what you learn in the campus is not designed for you to succeed in the job. And the first employer has to train you to succeed in the job. Please get this right. If you don't understand this, you think you are doing a favor to the employer. The first employer is making a great contribution to your career. He's doing a favor to you. On top of this, when you apply your knowledge, right, and a lot of skills you have learned, when you apply it on the job, you will make a lot of mistakes. And if an employer is intolerant to mistakes, you'll be sacked on day 2, day 3, day 4. So, a good employer, what he does is to tolerate your mistakes and allows you an opportunity to learn from mistakes and grow. So the point is, the campus life is useful, but you're stepping on into the new world, in the world of employment, and the deliverables are very different from what you see in the campus. So the employer, first job and the first employer is what is going to train you on these two. So what does he do, first employer? He trains you on the job, gives you an opportunity to make mistakes and learn from them, and gives you the work ecosystem. Work ecosystem is a boss, supervisor, colleagues, office system, all these are there to help you to succeed in the job. Most important, first employer does all this for you and also pays you a salary. Please remember, when you went to the campus, you paid money. Here they're paying you to do a job which you don't know, a job you're learning, you're making mistakes, and then paying you a salary to do that. So the first job, first employer makes you productive, and that is the only thing you can stay employable. When somebody is marketable, when he says employable, who makes you employable? Not the campus. It's the first employer. The investment required to make you employable is made by the first employer. So you need to always remember, if you look at all alumni in many companies, TMI, a lot of employees have worked with us over the period of time. Whoever came to us for the first job will never forget TMI. Similarly, in large companies, if you talk about Hindustan Lever or Unilever or working for a company like I work for NoSil, most of us who went to the first job, we remember the first employer very fondly because they made us what I am today or what you will be today. So first employer teaches you life skills also. See, there's something called work skills and life skills. Work skills are basically ability to communicate with somebody, how to write a mail to somebody, how you should make a presentation which is outcome oriented. A lot of these work and life skills are taught by him. We found out that the importance of the first job through a survey. We did a survey of top CXOs. These are the guys. CXO stands for CHRO, Chief Finance Officer. All of them at the chief level. There's a second level to the CEO. And we looked at their resumes and say, what's the secret of their success? And clearly it came out they were in the right job, with the right employer, and they succeeded. So these three are the three components: right job, right employer, and succeeding in the job with the secret of the success. So your foundation of your career success starts with the right employer. So please don't take it lightly. Many people I know take the first available job, the first employer who pays the highest salary, and regret it. Please don't do that. So sometimes people say, I'm already in my first job. So is this advice, what you give me, is valuable? Yes, it is valuable until you reach the right first job and the right first employer. So as Akshita said in the beginning, right first job has 5 components. So sometimes you hit the right industry but not the right employer. So what my advice is, until you reach the right first employer, until you succeed in the right first employer, whatever advice I'm giving you will be valuable. It is not necessary, it has to be the first job. It is the right first job.